Robertson atmosphere once again here in the Crucible Theatre. It's just something special.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot from Marco.
It's there. The 47th century of the tournament. Which they're all square. Now it's 6 apiece.
Absolutely fascinating stuff between these two world-class exponents of our beautiful game.
Nothing can separate Marco Fu and Neil Robertson at 8 apiece.
Good evening. Neil Robertson and Marco Fu have got the Crucible stage all to themselves this evening. And that's because of an earlier finish in one of our second-round matches yesterday. And it's entirely appropriate that we all have an unrestricted view of the classy Australian and the perfectly polished Cuban from Hong Kong, because after all, their match is perfectly poised at 8 frames apiece. One of them will become the last man through into the quarter-final draw in this year's Betfred World Championship. We'll see that live very shortly. But earlier today, another two men bagged their place in that quarter-final draw, and no surprise that the defending champion was one of them. Mark Selby's progress had been slowed up in yesterday's session by determined Xiao Guodong, who'd burgled the last 2 frames. But today, Leicester's world number 1 sprinted away with his first century of this championship to win 13-6.
Yeah, first one of the tournament, so over the moon with that. I wanted to do a forward roll or something, a nostalgia jump at the end of it. But I've been playing okay. I've just been getting to 60s and 70s and then breaking down or playing a silly positional shot. But yeah, it was nice to start the match off with a century.
And former runner-up Barry Hawkins didn't hang about either, reeling off the last 3 frames. He needed to barge past former champion Graham Dott. Top break for the Hawk in 98, and he'll face another Scot, Stephen Maguire, in the last 8.
Yeah, I'm delighted to beat someone of Graham's calibre, that score, and to get through the quarters. Yeah, I'm obviously really pleased there. I queued better today. The big breaks ain't flying in. I've had a few 90s there, I think, but overall I was pretty solid all round. And yeah, I wouldn't say I'm at top form in a minute, but I'm happy with the way I'm playing. You know, it can only hopefully it can get better as the tournament goes on.
And we're joined this evening by 7-times champion in here, Stephen Hendry. Stephen, you're well used to starring in a one-table setup in the semi-finals and finals, but how much can you enjoy this? Central curtain up, all eyes on you and your opponent this evening.
It's great atmosphere with both the players that they really have to enjoy. It's a bit of a surreal, because you've got another table there. So it doesn't feel like when you get to the semis when it's a one table. So it's a bit strange, but yeah, no noise from the other side tonight, so they can concentrate on their own match. Well,
Mark Selby awaits the winner of this one, Neil Robertson, Marco Fu. How would you characterise this match so far, Stephen?
Well, Neil Robertson took an early lead, 4-1, but since then, no one's really been able to stamp their authority on it. No one's been able to get more than sort of 1 frame ahead, so it's very difficult to pick a winner.
Well, Neil knows what it takes to win. You're obviously a champion 7 years ago. Marco twice a semi-finalist, including last year. Now, Marco is the higher ranked of the players. Who's your pick tonight and why?
I think I'd have to possibly side with Marco. I think over the season, he's had the better results. He's been at the sort of semis, finals, the business end more often than Neil. Neil Robertson, he's not scoring as heavy as he normally does. So, yeah, I'm going to slightly shade with Marco. OK,
well, that's as you like it. And as the Bard himself said, all the world's a stage, and it belongs to 2 men tonight, these 2 men. Well, 3, actually, because first, here comes MC Rob Walker.
Thanks, Hazel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So we find ourselves temporarily down to the one-table setup tonight at the Betfred World Snooker Championship for the epic climax of a match between 2 men who between them have made a huge contribution to the global game. Trouble is, there's only room for one of them in the quarters. This could be absolutely huge. Please welcome A player who arrived from Australia just over a decade ago with a head full of dreams and barely a penny in his pocket, and how he has since taken the game by storm. Twice a UK champion, a world champion, a Masters winner, bidding for a 7th Crucible quarter-final. Can you hear the thunder from down under? Here's Neil Robertson. And his opponent, a player whose achievements have helped promote the game in Asia for decades, bidding for his 4th world quarter-final 14 years after his first. And from 4-1 down, he is right back in this match. An absolute gentleman of the modern game from Hong Kong. Here comes Marco Fu.
A very good evening, Hazel, and a very good evening, everyone. And what a reception for both players here this evening. A real international match, if ever there was one. Australia versus Hong Kong.
17th frame. Neil Robertson to break.
It's the former champion who's going to get this first frame underway. Not a bad break off. He's left a tempter for Marco to look at. Now whether he takes it on is another matter. Tough to pick a winner here, isn't it, John?
Exceptionally, Dennis. Both absolute class acts. Neil Robertson, champion in 2010. And that was a big shot for your first one of the evening. And he's made a mess of it. And these top boys now, when they get a chance like this, you see the cue in. It wasn't easy from under that poor cushion. When they get a chance like this, they know how important it is to stamp their authority on this final session.
That type of shot that Marco just missed. I was doing Barry Hawkins' match with Graham Dott, and he knocked so many of that type of shot in. It's a shot that the players practice because they know it's going to come up during the game and sometimes at the start of a frame. He's just doing a little surveying of the table. He's got plenty of reds. It's a good chance, it has to be said.
He does seem to be taking a bit of time with this one, but it's the one in the middle.
One.
All right, but liked a little bit more on the cue ball. Pink will actually be taking him slightly away from the reds he'd want to play on. Those two over towards the left-hand side are both possible for the middle, obviously, but the cue ball angle he's got would go pretty close to those two reds after he pots the pink. Just managed to get inside that second red just to hold position, so fabulous chance.
Eight.
He's been pretty consistent with these breaks. He's had a couple of 60-plus breaks, a couple of 90-plus breaks, and of course that 105. So he's been very steady indeed, but Marco's also had a century and quite a few breaks over 50, so they're very evenly matched.
15.
You can see him striking the cue ball on the left side of the cue ball there to get a little bit of side to swing it over for the black.
Two reds on the left, obviously, in impossible positions. Here's the cue in Dennis was on about. Struck down, the cue ball widened the anger then to come back for the black. Yeah, the reds that are in the clusters, they're not great at the moment, so you'll have to move a few of those in the middle. Yeah, the bottom one doesn't even pot. So it's the outside one for the middle pocket, which he hasn't hit very well.
23.
In fact, that was all caused really by the red that's on the top cushion, because he'd like to have played the black, come round the angles for the two reds in the other middle, but that red was in the way. So if he's lost position, that's a chance gone. And it is.
Neil Robertson, 23.
He's got such a great temperament, the Australian, because he played a poor positional shot there, but he never bothered. He accepted it, just got down and played a very good safety shot.
Yes, Dan, and played it properly as well, didn't he? Lots of times you can be disappointed with losing your position and lose a bit of cool and don't play the right shot, but not there. Happened the other day in John Higgins' match. He lost position, which is a very rare occurrence for John lately, but he lost position, then played the best safety shot straight afterwards, and he was right back in and won the frame. So an example to any young player playing: make sure you play every shot correctly and with the tension.
That's so good. There's no easy way back down the table. On the one to the right, it's not even a double, you know, because sometimes you can spot a double, have a go at it, and you wouldn't leave anything. But he's left him with very little choice of shot. That was all Neil could do there.
That was very interesting there. He set a little trap, Neil Robertson. He just tapped into the reds and said, right, what are you going to do? And probably Marco should have just tapped back, but tried to play the more positive safety. Got the double kiss. How costly will that be?
1.
Yeah, as he played it thin, he got the old DDK, the dreaded double kiss.
Yeah, it's okay. Choice of, well, I'm saying a choice.
6.
I think the one on the right certainly goes in the middle, and it looks like the one goes in the left as well, so he has got a choice. One good shot here, just a little run through. Might be able to flick off the reds.
Seven.
And this may look nothing on your screens, but this is quite an acute little cut in the middle, this. not absolutely straightforward. But if he knocks it in, the frame could be at his mercy.
Neil Robertson, 7.
Well, it wasn't an easy pot by any means, but I expected Neil to knock that in, but he put it on the jaw of the pocket, as we show you it again. If it touches the jaw of the pocket, it won't go in.
Yeah, he just left himself with a little bit to do, didn't he?
One.
So he's got a 29-point lead, Neil Robertson, but he'll be kicking himself if it's not more. And Marco must have been thinking that he was going to be a lot more behind as well. So what's his scoring like this evening? First chance. Yeah, an awkward little shot that was. Once you put the topspin on, sort of gets trapped by the cushion and reverts into backspin. That's why the cue ball went the way it did. So he needs a good mid-range pot here.
Eight.
Well, excellent pot, just betwixt and between really with the positional play. Not ideal on pink or blue. So one good shot with the rest required.
It's finished just a little awkward for Marco here.
14.
He might just be okay with this one. If it's straight, he can follow it through, but if it's heading towards the pink with the cue ball, that's not ideal. That's why he's looking at the cutback. You see, that's not a good angle. If it was straight, you'd just run it on through and leave the pink into the left corner. I mean, he can stun it in and leave the pink to the right middle. But he feels he can get through to leave the pink on. And, you know, that was the problem there. That's a poor shot from Marco. He was convinced that he could run that through and get on the pink, and it didn't look like it, John. And then he took his concentration off the pot.
Yeah, I feel a little bit for him there because he played a decent shot with the rest, and where he finished, he wasn't plumb on any of the three reds he could have been on.
One.
But he usually manages to sort that one out. Didn't there. So slightly worrying signs in this opening frame from Marco. This is the third chance Neil Robertson's had. Don't usually get that many.
Yeah, they've been sharing frames for quite some time since Neil's 4-1 lead, but I feel if someone can open up a 2-frame advantage now, that will be huge for them. First to 13.
6. Seven.
It's totally different for the crowd in the Crucible this evening, and totally different for people watching at home because there's no noise coming from the other table.
Yeah, it's a slightly strange atmosphere when you're the only table there. Okay, when you get to semi-finals and the final, you are the only table, but it's in the middle of the room. But it is slightly different when that happens.
Well, that middle pocket, John, have they
Neil
moved that
Robertson,
pocket since this afternoon? Because there's a few easy ones missed in there.
Yeah, neither player settled down
Thank
here.
you. Settle down, please. One.
Do you know, in a few shots' time, if he could get on that red that's to the right of the black spot, he could just roll it in and would leave the black for the other corner. Oh, Marco. Can't be hitting the green full ball from that situation. So, I don't know whether they're a little bit edgy in this opening frame, John.
Well, I mean, he's just completely misjudged that. Big gap there to get through. I mean, listen, we give the players plenty of praise, Dennis, but at the moment it's like a club handicap. Two of them, chances they've had. Obviously the tension, and I think it's that psychological thing of getting 9-8 in front and getting on your way towards the magical 13, but well, both players have had 3 chances and not made anything of them.
Marco Fu 6.
I have to say though, it's pretty good sometimes when you get frames like this. We're so used to watching the boys making 80s, 90s and 100s all the time that when a few shock misses arrive, it's no less entertaining. Just makes the game look what it is, pretty hard. Lovely clean pot. That's all he's going to get really for a good shot. Good cue in that. So just a matter of where he can leave the most trouble for Neil Robertson.
Yellow ball. Marco Fu 1.
Nicely played. Clever little shot.
It sounds like there's an alarm going off on somebody's phone or something. Well, they're going to have to wait because trying to find out where it is. It's as if somebody's set an alarm on their phone.
If he has, Dennis, he must work shifts.
But it's, yeah, it's well. I'm looking up the stairs and there's one of the security men and they're looking to see what he's in everybody's handbag. I don't know what it is. Well, he's not in his own handbag.
It's like a Mexican wave. Yeah, nice shot that, just a little bit of swerve and just clip the red. And the way these balls are at the moment, they're awkward. Very easy to promote one over a corner pocket if you're not careful.
And that's why Marco's going down the left side of the table so that he doesn't do what John said there. And this looks pretty good. Very good shot from Marco through there.
absolutely brilliant. Best safety shot this evening by a long way.
Referee Jan Verhaas having a good look at this, because he might be able to clip that red that he's pointing the tip of the cue to. That's just in case that he does foul and the ball has to be replaced.
Don't blame him for taking his time. I'm struggling to see what shot he's got on here.
I think he can hit that red past the blue, but he'd have to be so precise. The white's almost tight in one cushion and the red's almost tight in another.
So I think he's playing a 2-cushion escape, trying to hit that red on the way back on the right-hand side. And he'll settle for that.
Yeah, he wasn't snookered there, but he just didn't want to have to try and play safe off the red that's just near the cushion there. Now Marco would normally get down and send this red right around the angles, but the green is right in the way of doing that.
Yeah, safety shot with the two reds that are near the black spot is awkward. Can't play the one closest to the spot because he'll cannon the other red. And he doesn't really want to clip the bottom one towards the corner. So this takes some thinking, which is what he's doing.
Well, it makes you wonder if he didn't attempt that. It certainly did, because he thought he was going to get it safe, but this red that is closest to the cue ball will go into the left middle pocket. It's a bit of a free shot, and he'd be nicely on the black.
I think he's trying it in the middle, is he? Yep. Great shot. One very good shot. He's missed a few in this frame already, but that was superb.
Yeah, he's got a slight angle on the black, but he can't power the black in and come off the cushion and get in behind that difficult red, as you can see there. So what he was thinking about was just potting the black and then attempting to get the snooker and send the red back up the table. But what he is doing here, John, he's certainly not rushing things, is he?
No, it was said to me this afternoon by somebody who watched the match that he was certainly playing a little slower. It's usually when someone's not quite in their best of form, if I'm being honest. You do a little bit of grinding, taking a bit more time, trying not to make a mistake. I don't blame him, because we don't know how he's feeling at the moment, but it's not the usual fluent Neil Robertson that we see scoring so quickly, but as I say, we don't know how he's feeling out there.
Neil Robertson, 8.
And that's a very clever shot. He's knocked the red round, but he's put it in a really potable position. This is a problem.
I'm just wondering if Marco came off the bottom cushion and landed in that red that's near the balk line. That's what he's round looking at, to see if he would leave the red over the right corner pocket. He'd need the pink and brown. You see where he's cueing there? That tells me he's going to come off the balk cushion and just land on that red, and hopefully he won't leave the one near the pocket. But he doesn't particularly like that, but that's what he had on his mind there.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Well, the other shot he's looking at, I think, is to come off and try and clip it on the way back. But that's fraught with danger. I think I prefer your shot, Dennis. Yep. drop it on there and stand for it. Your opponent knocks one in from there, well, fair enough.
Very clever. I say very clever because I think if he had it just landed on the red, he might have left that one. I mean, Neil's got this red up the cushion, but I mean, there's so much pressure in this because of the one that's near the pocket where the green is.
Yeah, it was a lovely little bit of chess, that, wasn't it? That aside there, the last 2 shots.
No, he's one of the best potters in the game, and has been for quite a number of years. Now this will test his skills. That's if he takes it on. He's not. He's just playing the safety shot, but he hasn't made a good fist of that. That red shouldn't have been anywhere near that left corner pocket.
Yeah, he was obsessed with the one on the right-hand side, wasn't he? Just want to make sure that the yellow and blue was doing its job and forgot about the one he was playing. But this is not a gimme. And he may have gotten away with it. Wow.
Amazing, isn't it? Can't see the one, the green's covering that, but the other one might cut in. That's what he's looking at now. It's a very thin snick, but he might just be able to cut this in, and I don't think the white will go anywhere near the left middle pocket. I think the brown's in the way, so he may attempt this. There's the pink. Oh! Wow.
That was a clever positional shot, wasn't it?
The only thing with this pink, it's so close to the pocket, it's difficult to control the cue ball.
Would you be tempted to play cushion first here?
I think I would hit it on the right hand side, hit it a bit thinner, because it doesn't matter what contact he makes, the pink's going to go in. I'd play it thinner to make sure I got it past the blue for that easy red near the pocket.
And the way he's lining up there, I think he may be thinking about cushion first, but we'll see. But there's either it's just a personal preference, this one, I would think. Just the way he cued over there, maybe that's what he's doing.
Yeah, well, you'll have to be careful that he doesn't go in the right middle pocket then. And he'll also have to be careful he doesn't snooker himself for the green. Well, he's on that red, but it wasn't as he played it.
7. Eight.
Brown would be enough. He's 32 in front. Brown would put him 36 in front. With just 35 there, he had a quick look at the scoreboard on the way around.
Yeah, just make sure you knock this in and get any position on the red is good.
Neil Robertson, 12.
Not quite safe yet, but barring that one snooker, Neil's got himself in front again. But the balls are nicely placed for the snooker that he needs.
Marco just checking the scoreboard, seeing whether he can take the blue or the pink instead of taking black. And of course he can. He still only need one snooker, so that's why he's playing the easier pot. And that green is not in a bad position for snookers here. Okay, you can get a snooker lining up with other balls, but if you can get in, the green is the one that's near the cushion. You can get somewhere in behind there. Might make it a bit more difficult. You could also play in behind the black as well. You can't get really tight to that one, so not a difficult snooker to hit, even if you get it. Couple of shots he could play. He might just play up and down and try and get up behind the brown. Yellow twice across. Or try to play over there behind the black. But have to be careful with that one. You didn't go in off. Sometimes you just got to play a decent safety. It's not every shot you go to the table there's going to be a snooker on. So you have to keep the object ball safe and wait for a better opportunity. Too thick. Could have left something easier.
I'd be tempted to just roll this in or over the pocket, because he won't mind if Marco pots the yellow should he miss this, because it'll get that green out of the way. But he's definitely would have just rolled the yellow to try and make sure of the pot. And even if he left it right over the pocket, as I say, no harm done. If me was to get Marco to pot the yellow, then he'd have to move that green away, because it's the best ball, as John was saying, to get the snooker behind, but not from this position. Not quite.
Match time just gone past the 5-hour mark, and this frame itself is over half an hour. Certainly not been easy.
Well, he might have got the snooker behind the blue and pink, but the green is in a far better place now if Marco ever gets a chance, because if you get in behind that green, it'll be such a tough snooker to escape from. But he's got to get out of this snooker himself and make sure he knocks the yellow safe. And he hasn't knocked it safe, so one good pot and he'll be off with the second frame of this session.
Hasn't really had many decent opportunities to play snookers yet, Marco, but as you mentioned before, Dennis, knocking that green there for Neil was pretty dangerous. Obviously doesn't really want to pot this because he'd like to keep the yellow active with that green being where it is, but he may have no choice. Well, he could play that shot, and if this has gone behind the green, it is brilliant. What a shot that is. Fantastic. Didn't think he could play inside the blue and pink there to get behind there. That was wonderfully controlled.
Well, I mentioned if he did get in behind the green, it was going to be difficult to escape from. It's a big swerve that he'd have to play. And off the side cushion, the middle pocket slightly in the way. There's enough room to go around the back of the yellow as well.
Yeah, I think to actually get out of this snooker, the easiest way is off two cushions, but of course if you don't hit it and you play it firmly, you could leave free balls and everything, so he preferred to play the swerve, but it's a big one.
Foul. Marco Fu 5.
Well, no miss called because he needed a snooker. And really, as it's turned out, Marco can win, but he flicked the black into a safer position and the blue into a safer position. So it's the one sort of situation where you can possibly gain an advantage from playing a foul. Not that he intended that, but that's just how it's worked out. Would he attempt to get back in behind the green again? Got to keep the yellow safe also. No, he's not trying to get in behind the green. He's making sure that he gets a good yellow here and use the pink. And that's pretty good.
Yep, excellent. Had a few shots there. Actually could have chipped the yellow on the side cushion and gone in behind the black as well, but played the full length shot and very well played it was too. And this is very dangerous now for Neil Robertson. As ever, it's not hitting it, it's what you leave. Well, he's left him a good chance here, mid-range. Good cueing required. Don't have to do anything with the cue ball. Green's over the corner.
He seemed to hit that a little harder than he needed. It wasn't a straightforward pot, but when you hit them at that pace, it's much more difficult for the pocket to accept the ball. Neil having this cleaned here because he's going to try and just chip the yellow in. He doesn't want to be getting a kick. very good pot under the circumstances.
Oh, he's missed a chance there, Marco. He really has, to get that wonderful snooker in behind the green and then have a shot at the yellow. He'll be very disappointed. As ever, we say it lots of times at this level, it's not about winning the frames you should win, it's nicking the ones you shouldn't. And Marco had a very good chance on that yellow there.
9.
Yeah, just coming up to 39 minutes for this opening frame of this session.
$14. $20.
And the Australian
frame.
will be delighted.
Neil Robertson.
It was the longest frame of the match, but he won't care about that. He's got himself back into the lead. It's now 9-8 to Neil Robertson.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 18, Marco Fu to break.
Thank you, Hazel. Yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it? As I say, I mentioned earlier this evening, from his body language, he's certainly taking his time. Yeah, Robertson, he's grinding a little bit. But if he thinks his game isn't 100%, he's got to find a way to win. And maybe that's what he thinks is needed this evening.
Well, the yellow might be in the way of Neil coming off the side cushion and just nestling in the pack, because he wouldn't leave that red. The red's cuttable to the left of the blue, but if he landed in the side of the reds, wouldn't leave that. But I don't know if the yellow's preventing him from doing that. No use coming off two cushions past the brown and into the back of the reds, because he'd leave those two that's in between the black and the little bunch of reds.
Yeah, interesting one, isn't it? I mean, obviously, all avenues are blocked for Neil.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, that was a very delicate operation. He was trying there just to roll at that pace and just glance off the red. How close was that?
Yeah, don't think that was the table. That was just a really good attempt.
One.
As ever, when you play that shot, you always finish in the middle of everywhere. Can pot the black, but it's much more difficult than it looks.
Mark of foot 1.
He never even got it in the jaws of the pocket, but it was a tough one. And plenty of cue power to get this around the angles here. Oh, he got the power into it, but cannon on the red was always going to spoil that positional shot. I'm not sure what he was looking around at. Maybe it was just because of the way he played the shot.
Neil Robertson 1. Foul. Gonna miss. Neil Robertson 4.
Yeah, Marco's just trying to play that off the cushion and just not hit it from behind, just hit the side of it so he doesn't promote it towards the green pocket and leave a pot on. That's why he's come off the way he has done.
Let's have a look at that, Mark. Yeah, Neil.
That's an excellent safety shot. There he is, no wonder Neil's tapped on the table. He knew full well he had to hit those thick. It was the only way he could get back into the balk area, and when you do that, you've got to make sure you get a good white. And that's exactly what that was. Yeah, there's your percentage for your safety success. I wouldn't have played many better than that one. I think Neil's got a similar shot that Marco played before, where he come off the top cushion and maybe rest on the red on the right hand side. I think that's what the only thing he's got really.
This is really tough, hard match snooker we're watching here. And as I mentioned during the first frame, the player that can get a couple of frames ahead at this stage will have a huge advantage.
That was an excellent safety shot from Neil. That's the side of the table you want the cue ball in. Obviously yellow and blue is stopping the right hand side escape. So they couldn't have played that much better. Just awkward at the minute.
The reason they're being so careful here is the way the reds are situated. One mistake and it could be very costly.
Foul and a miss. Marker Fu 4. Well, this is a very tough pot that he's faced with here. Oh, he feels as if the white drifted slightly, but yeah, I think that last attempt at a pot that Niamh had, he felt maybe the white drifted a little bit, but this table's been running so true. Just his reaction there is more or less saying, well, it drifted slightly. Now this is a bit of a chance for Marco. The red passes the black, and it's the type of shot, if you could knock it in, doesn't half give your confidence a boost, but the black's slightly in the way, but that's a terrific shot. One fabulous shot, and what a chance he's given himself here. 10 out of 10 for that one, John.
Yep, and even more meritorious the fact that it's been hard work this evening. Lots of safety duel going on, but he'd like to have that one again.
You know, he thought, well, there's no way I can't be on a red. I'll just play a cannon. I'm bound to be on something. And look where the white's finished up. Wow. Would you believe that? And he has no safety shot.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, I know you talk about tipping and tapping, but there's a few foul tipping and tapping going on.
Yeah, he tried to play that with the side of his tip, didn't he? It's one of those ones where you just dab the edge of your tip on the cue ball so it doesn't go very far, but it didn't even reach.
Did he have it put back there, John? If you're playing billiards, you get 2 for that shot. Really is strange how these first 2 frames have panned out.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes of safety at the start of this frame. It was a cracking long red that Marco knocked in, but it just shows you sometimes the balls can run really awkward. I mean, he could have 50 goes of playing that shot and couldn't end up in a place you weren't on one. But it happened tonight.
Touching ball. This one.
Touching the left one, but is there a path back down the table, or is that other red preventing that?
Yeah, I don't think there's a path down the table, but Marco can play across. But then you're giving away your advantage there, because if he pushes the cue ball in the corner, Neil can play an easy safety shot and you could be back in trouble. So that's why he didn't do anything else with it.
Yeah, you want to re-rack it? Okay.
Yeah.
Re-rack.
I think Marco said to Neil on the way past, should we start again? And Neil just had a look at the situation, and yeah, re-rack is the order of the day under those circumstances. Well, packed house again. People probably thought they were going to have snooker on the other table, but they won't mind that. They can watch this match and no distractions from the other table. I don't think they were expecting to get the longest frame of the match in the opening frame of this session, but it was just how the balls finished up.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 18. Marco foot to break.
Yeah, it's type of game at the moment. I think we just need a really good chance for somebody to make a big break in one visit and both players will burst into life. It's just awkward at the minute and the balls haven't helped the way they've gone. Yep, there's that dreaded double kiss you're on about, Dennis, and this time it's given Marco a pretty decent chance.
One.
Love to score a few points here. Just get going, get the cue action going, get back into his usual scoring mode. There's the attempt by Neil. Worst thing that when you miss and it comes back and cannons the white, you know you're going to be leaving one. And Marco's missed the cannon. He can't believe he's missed the cannon.
8.
Wow, I didn't think he could. But there you go, sneak past the red. And he has got one in the green pocket, but this is not what he played for.
No, it was the disappointment
Marco Fu.
of playing a
8.
very poor positional shot that caused him to miss that one. But fortunately, the red he missed is ran safe.
Thanks.
Well, he took a chance there, trying to be positive with his safety. Hit it thick. And he's promoted a red towards the corner. And ordinarily, Neil Robertson would roll this in off the top cushion on the black, and a great chance.
One.
The pot decided to play the screw shot as opposed to the run through.
Sure. 7.
He is sort of doing quite a bit of wandering around the table. You know, he's such a fluent player when he gets going.
8.
And this is where he's usually at his best, isn't it? Chances like this, break building, heavy scorer. Answers on a postcard.
15.
Very unusual shot.
Yeah, I think there's still a red that goes past the one that's near the pocket, but I'm sure he didn't play to put the cue ball there, that's for certain.
Yeah, you can pot this red, of that there's no doubt, but the positional side of it's awkward because of the two reds that are on the top cushion. So Neil's coming round to have a look. He's going to have to pot this, come off the top cushion and avoid both of those reds. So instead of being on something that was really easy, there's a little bit more to think about. Yep, and because of that, he's missed the red.
Neil Robertson. 15.
It's so unusual to see him losing the cue ball like he is.
1.
Yeah, I think that opening frame that lasted almost 40 minutes has just
8.
knocked both players slightly out of their stride. So it's just a matter of who can get in and knock in a sizable contribution.
9.
Can't help thinking, Dennis, this is a match that if just one of the players can grab it by the scruff of the neck, they're going to run away with it, because it just needs one of them to play the normal game here. There's enough chances flying around. So used to seeing Marco with his wonderful cue ball control scoring heavily, and Neil Robertson also. The way he's always very attack minded and fluent and quick. And neither player is like the usual self at the moment. We know it's a big prize, but these two players are used to playing in things like this. Who's going to step up to the plate?
16.
Do you know what I found amazing, John? They've never played each other in the World Championship before. Neil has won 6 times, Marco 5 times, but this is the first time they've played at the Crucible. Oh, that's a shocker.
17.
What a shot. Now, very rarely do you see Marco Fu shake his head, but that was a shocker.
It's funny, Dennis, before he played that shot, I was thinking to myself, if you play the cannon here, you could end up sticking on the red. That's exactly what he's done.
Blue ball. Marco Fu, 17.
Boy, that was a golden chance. He's let slip there, and Neil can take this one on. Well, no, in fact, he's just playing a safety shot. I thought he might be able to take a shot to nothing on there, but oh, and that's put the black safe, so we could have another awkward frame now.
Nice clean pot, straight in the middle of the pocket. Good cannon.
Well, Neil's got to be thinking, you know, Marco had a great chance, and he was expecting to have been sitting in his seat for quite some time, but it's Marco that's now sitting in the seat, and this might just be the chance.
8.
I mean, it's not a straightforward run, but there's, what, another 4 reds available, but if he can up a 2-frame advantage here, he might take a bit of stopping.
15.
Well, already in this break he's playing a little quicker, which is just what he has to do. He's such a better player when he does. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. A couple of performances the last few years. I saw one of the Masters when he beat Ali Carter 6-0 and he missed one ball in the entire match. I can remember it because that was the only one, as I say, he did
20.
miss. As close to perfection as you're going to get. And he was playing a lot quicker.
And I know they've got lots of tournaments to play in these days, but is there any player ever going to make a century of century breaks in one
28.
season? That was incredible a few years ago.
29.
Yeah, came absolutely straight on the pink, so
35.
couldn't get a better position. Not easy now. Can power it through with topspin, but you're not absolutely certain how the cannon's going to be. And of course, on these pockets, you've still got to knock it in. And played the screw back.
36.
Hit that well. And just go up and have a look now, see if that red will go in the middle pocket from the angle it is.
Yeah, in an ideal world, he'd love to get the white somewhere near where I've put the other white up, just to make that pot available. But he has an angle on the pink to get over into that position. Yeah, I'm sure he could get there. He's going to hit the red, he's nowhere. Try to just drop in behind it.
42. Neil Robertson, 42.
Good break of 42 though, and a very handy lead. Maybe 2 points the way these balls are positioned is a massive lead.
I think he's left this red potable. It's a thinnish one. Make sure of the pot and just hope to drop on the colour. Yeah, wasn't sure what was going to happen to cue ball.
1.
Now, it might be an idea to put the brown safe here, because if he rolls the pink in, he's only getting 6 points for that. But there again, he's 32 in front, and the 6 would put him 38 in front.
Oh, I like the first shot you thought of. Definitely be getting the ball safe. Why not with that lead?
It would be the brown, you know, over to the side cushion to the left of the blue.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind putting the pink on the side cushion either. High scoring ball, stick that away. Either, whichever way you want to do it, but put one of them safe.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Now he's faced with one of the toughest safety shots in the game. He's got the whole of the table, the whole length of the table to try and clip this red. It will bring the black into play, but if he hits it thick, he could put the red on. In fact, he's just rolling to it because of the difficulty of it. Oh, that's going off. Oh.
Very well played. Probably won't get him any points, but a very good shot. Marco just side cushion and drop on the reds.
Foul.
Well, it shouldn't have got many points, but it has done.
Neil Robertson foot. Yeah. Bring that up, please, Colin.
Can't afford to miss this again, really. 37, the difference.
To you, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
about spot on. Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly right.
Yeah, the black is stopping a shot Marco could play, because sometimes you can stun the first red, leave the cue ball there and bring both reds into play, but the black will stop that other red, so it's not on.
Well, I think that last shot he tried to get a snooker was very difficult. He's put himself in trouble here, has Marco. Well, I thought Neil would have taken the white way up the table there, because all Marco will do is come off the side cushion and land in the reds again, or just roll into it.
Yeah, I think he was worried about the cue ball coming back again, didn't he, so quickly. That's why he sort of pulled the cue away. Maybe he thought he'd get a double hit.
Oh, this is a tough pink. Great shot. Great shot off the cushion.
Absolutely fabulous cueing.
Seven.
I'm going to hark on. Well, you can see the cue in it. This is Excellent. I'm going to hark on a shot Neil Robertson played earlier. He might be in trouble in a minute. Oh, he should have been,
Marco Fu.
because he didn't get
7.
that brown very safe when he played that shot. Should have had that down the cushion and tight on it, but he may have got away there. Got away with that one, because Marco should have put him in a lot more trouble. Could play the thin clip. Well, that's a poor shot as well. Goodness me, he's playing some strange ones this evening, Neil. It's not like him at all, this. Priority there, got to get the object ball safe.
I think because of all the tactical play and the way the balls went in the opening frame, both players have just lost that little bit of rhythm. Yeah, this is good. Delicate little one to land on the red again. Well, he's played at the pace this time. Now, where's the red going to finish up? Yeah, very nice indeed. Might be in behind the brown again. The only problem with attempting that, he could put this red over the right corner pocket. But it's a nice target, brown and blue, and also yellow and green. Good target. But he's played this well. That's a cracker shot.
Foul. And a miss.
See, it's one of those situations where the miss is called because he's not quite at the snooker's required stage. But if he misses this time, then he does need snookers. And the odds against hitting this, you might hit it maybe 3-4 out of 10 because of the way the cue ball's situated so close to the brown. So much room to go around the red. Oh, well played, but I stuck the red up. It was a difficult situation, that, for him.
One.
So goes the pink, and that'll see the end of that frame.
7.
Hasn't been particularly pretty, this frame, but it won't matter.
Okay,
Marco Fu's had
7 on the
enough.
frame.
And Neil Robertson, for the first time in a long while in this match, has opened up a 2-frame lead. And they go out to the arena. It's 10-8 to Robertson.
Yeah, 2 longish frames. I mean, even that was quite a longish frame as well. That was not too many minutes away from half an hour after the 49-minute opening frame. And I think you mentioned it. Well, look at the shot that Marco played here. I mean, he's playing a cannon in the red, but look where he put the cue ball. He was absolutely devastated with himself, and you don't see him shake his head very often, Marco. But nobody has got into a rhythm. But this really was the frame winner, wasn't it, John, when he tucked in behind the brown?
Yeah, there's been signs, I have to say, in the last frame that Neil Robertson's looked at this and he's doing what I was talking about earlier, where he was speeding up, wasn't he, when he made that 42 break, and he's looking, thinking, I've only got to play half decent here, and if I can just get the normal game, I've got a great chance of winning. And he sort of stepped up his pace of play, made a very good 42 break, and he was always in control really in that last frame. I mentioned they were ugly, but they all add up, Dennis, don't they?
Well, I think what he is doing, he wants to get through to the quarterfinal. Well, they both do so badly, but I think we did say that Neil's, it's like the way Cliff Thorburn used to play. You know, Cliff used to grind some of the matches out, great break builder as well, but Neil's, you could say he was a little bit like a mini grinder at the moment.
Yeah, you can get yourself in that situation where you start overthinking. I certainly did. The end of my career where you're playing and you're not quite as good as you were. I mean, I'm not saying Neil isn't. I'm just saying at the moment he's just overthinking things a little bit. And it's not like him. He's at his best when he's fluent and he's scoring. And well, he'd be delighted, no matter how unpretty those two frames were, that he's taken both of them and now he's got a 2-frame lead.
Marco's back into the arena, still waiting on Neil. And as I mentioned earlier, they're very close. Neil Robertson's won 6 to Marco Fu's 5. But it's the first time they've played here at the Crucible, which is quite amazing.
I mean, that is incredible, really. You think about the two players at the business end of lots of the major tournaments, aren't they? And certainly here you would have thought they'd have played before now. It was an interesting stat that. I would have thought they'd have had a match here.
Yeah, they played each other in the Masters twice, and it's one each, so they've been very evenly matched down the years. Welsh Open, Neil won that one, 2016, 4-2. I can hear Neil coming past the commentary box, so he should be appearing very shortly. I recognise those Australian footsteps.
Neil Robertson to break. Settle down, please. Thank you.
But it's a pretty good time to open up a 2-frame advantage. But we've seen Marco, when he's behind, he produces some of his best snooker. But he's hit that far too thick. And he's left an early chance for Neil Robertson.
Yeah, he just can't get going, Marco, can he? Potted a really good long red, one of the earlier frames, and then lost position and just a little bit off at the moment. And this is such a hard game that if you're a little bit off, contacting the cue ball in the middle or your timing goes a touch, this game can make you look silly. Good shot.
One.
Smooth. And this is a pretty decent chance. 3 reds that are just above the black, all potable. Just one good positional shot to get. Ideally, Neil, I'd like to get on the red that's just up from the black on the right hand side. If you could screw off the blue in between the pink and that red on the left and come down for that one, that would be perfect. Played that superbly well. You've just run a fraction too far. I think at the cannon he would have liked, yeah, too much of an angle. That was a little bit straighter, it would have been better for his position. But he may be able to pot this and play through the gap between red and black without having to get a cannon.
Seven.
Lost the cue ball. Twixt in between.
Green ball.
Well, he's been very fortunate there.
Neil Robertson, 7.
He decided to take the difficult green on. And look where the green's finished. But the cannon on the yellow kept the white up the safety end of the table. Oh, beauty. Absolute beauty from Marco Fu. He's got an inner strength, as Marco, even though he was struggling a bit to pull that one out.
And that was a better shot than it looked. Very small margin
8.
for out of there. Had to force that in. He's just managed to keep hold of the cue ball. Well, I think he has he? Yep, surely that pots. And the green goes. So I'd like that to have been pretty straight on it, but I don't think he is. No. Wrong angle. This game really can go awkward at times for players. It's just scrapping for position at the minute. He's opened up with an excellent red and just can't quite get the cue ball. Oh, that's a good shot.
13.
Once again, slightly overscrewed it.
Well, that's a bit unlucky. He went full-blooded into the reds. Didn't quite get the cannon, as you can see there, just caught the side of the reds, but very unlucky for them to finish up in this position. Well, he started this with a cracking long pot. Gonna need another one here.
Beautifully controlled. That's the way he hits this, and just holds the cue ball right between the gap.
Just wondering, John, if he can get on the red that's next to the black. He's just looking to see if it will pot, because he's got an angle, and there's another red that's available also, but the one next to the black would be perfect, but he could wait for that. Yeah, he's got the other one there.
This has been hard fought, this break.
27.
It's only 27, but he had to pull out some shots.
$28.
Has he got enough angle to power into the pack, or is he just going to push through and play the cannon? Yep, play the cannon. Nicely done. This is a great
35.
effort. It's only 35, but what a great 35.
36.
Now, needs a split.
Oh, is he stuck on that red? That is very unlucky. I mean,
43.
He couldn't have played this any better. Well, this is a tough one. Is it there? Oh, he's walking around. He knows it's there.
44.
Absolutely superb, Marco Fu. We've seen lots of breaks here this year's World Championships at the Crucible, plenty of hundreds. But you want to see many breaks like this that have been so hard fought.
49.
And in the circumstances, at 8-10 down, this is magnificent.
I think
50.
what's standing him in good stead is the match he played against John Higgins in the final of the Scottish Open. From 4-0 behind, he went on to win the match
57.
9-4. And that really did give him a boost. And of course here, John, against
58.
Luca Brissell, 7-1 down and come back and won.
Yeah, he's got many qualities, Marco, but undoubtedly one of his trump cards is his temperament. This has just been absolutely wonderful.
65.
And he's up there with the game. It's great builders with Marco. He's made 43 centuries this season, 41 last season, and 451 in total. He really is a class act. And once again, John, showing us what a fabulous temperament he has.
73.
Bit different to the two opening frames this evening.
78.
Just been going 10 minutes this one, and a nice little double to give himself a chance of 100. No double, but he'll not be too concerned about that. He got the one chance there, and he made a break of 78, and he's back just one behind. 10-9 to the Australian.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 20. Marco Fu to break. Thank you. Quiet, please.
Yes, thank you, Hazel. And what a massive frame this is. Okay, they're all big at this stage, but to be going into the mid-session interval, you could sneak a little two-frame lead. Neil, he'll be delighted. Make his cup of tea taste a bit sweeter.
surprised Marco did that. He could have played off the red next to the blue, and okay, he's worried about leaving this one near the right corner pocket, but that shot has left us with a stalemate after knocking in that magnificent 78 break. I'm just wondering if he'll have a go at this pot, because he could play it as a shot to nothing. Well, he did, but he missed it by... Well, has he missed it? Oh. He thought, I can have a go at this red. I won't leave a great deal. I'll be on a colour, but he missed it by a long way. Just wondering if he's thinking of sending the red into the pack and screwing the white back to safety, because why else would he be just pointing the tip of the cue at the reds? I think maybe that's what he has in mind. Well, he did have it in his mind, but he's now thinking of something totally different.
Yeah, if he just plays off the red and leaves... Well, he is screwing it back. No, he kidded us there, Dennis. He played the bottom of the cue ball and just dropped it in the corner.
There you see Marco leaning up against the other table. I never like to do that, John, because it's a bit darker over there, and then you're back into the light.
Foul.
He gets 4 points for that.
Marco Fu.
You know, that side of the arena is just a little bit dark, and it's so bright this side, as you can see there.
Ordinarily that red on the right hand side. Player Marco will be playing, so his cue action here. That red he's left be down, but of course Neil's left handed, so not that easy for him. You're going to need the rest if he takes it. He's just having a look to see that if he rolls it through, where he'd need to leave the cue ball. It's just that red, the second one up from the cushion, that's the problem. Because you can easily roll this in and snooker yourself. That's what he was looking at. Well, wasn't anywhere near close there. Decided to play the screw back, but well, long way away by Neil's standards. So a good chance for Marco this.
1.
Hasn't really got to do anything with the cue ball here to get down to the reds.
6. Seven.
Wow, that seemed to bounce off the cushion a bit lively. Just about managed to keep position. All about leaving yourself a decent angle off this black. Whatever you do, don't finish straight on this red that's near the top cushion.
$20. 21.
Lovely positional shot
28.
that was. A lot better than it looked to get deep into the cue ball there. Just get enough work, but not that much that you went past the two reds that he's close to. Yeah, change your plan here. Realised he was on the other one.
29. Just measure it up. Thank you. $35. $36.
He really does produce his best when his back's against the wall, Marco. When Neil opened up the two-frame advantage, I thought this spells danger for the man from Hong Kong, but Neil knows that this fella plays some of his best snooker when the pressure's
44.
on. Didn't have to go into the reds there because he's got one the left side and one the
51.
right side.
$52.
You could score enough without moving those 5 reds.
This really is superb from Marco. 10-8 down.
59.
Struggling to get a decent chance. But his response in the last 2 frames has been excellent. And I mentioned about one of the players stepping up to the plate to grasp this game. At the moment it's looking like Marco.
Yeah, that last shot when he had the angle to screw back for the blue and just nudge the reds was
65.
perfect. He's 69 ahead, so he only needs this red.
66.
frame safe. We've had 49 centuries so far this year.
'74.
86 centuries is the record. That was equalled last year.
'81.
Well, Stephen
82.
Henry in the studio will be loving this type of snooker. This is the sort of snooker that Stephen produced on so many occasions when he won 7 titles here.
'87.
Yes, and the one difference at the moment, I think,
88.
certainly for the rest of this match, Marco's the one who's scoring. Neil did earlier in the match, but the last part of it he stopped. Highest break 42 in the last few frames. But it's Marco who's knocking the big breaks in. So he's going to have to improve, Neil.
96.
That's a half century of centuries in this year's World Championship.
103.
Don't the crowd enjoy that?
104.
So we've had a little bit of everything. We had the longest frame of the match, 49 minutes. Went a little bit awkward, the balls. The second frame, almost half an hour. As he turns away in disgust, but it doesn't really
110.
matter. It's amazing how it's turned around. 2 very longish frames, and then 78 break in the last frame, and now this.
Yeah, what's amazing as well is how many balls he
115.
missed in the first couple of frames tonight, and yet he's just completely turned it round.
Doesn't matter about that. Neil Robertson opened up a 2-frame advantage. What did the man from Hong Kong do? He won 2 frames with 1 chance, and he's back level. It's 10 frames all.
Frame 21. Neil Robertson to break.
Yes, sounds like Neil just wanted to vent his anger on a few balls in the practice table by the sound of it. And this is what it's all about late night at the Crucible. Who can run over the winning line?
Wow, how close was that? Is the green going to come to the rescue? Maybe not, but it was a great effort there to carry on from where he left off before the mid-session interval. Breaks of 78 in that century. I think he can get past the green. Now, the only problem with this, he's heading over towards the reds. I could never see the angle from this side, John, could you?
No, I never. If you go behind the pocket looking at these shots, you can make everything go. It's down there where the cue ball is that's important. But yeah, I think he can get through it. See, in a perfect world, he'd like to play this with a bit of check side to stop himself going into the pack, but the green is stopping that shot. So all he could really do was pot it and hope he got a fortuitous cannon, which he didn't.
Settle down, please.
Yeah, that green was just causing enough of a problem just to stop him getting check side on.
Well, suddenly he feels that he might be able to pot the pink. Now, what a result that would be. Is he having to play with a little touch aside? What a bonus that was there, John.
A bonus, but well played as well. Just sneaked in off the jaw. Anything harder there or slightly to the right was going to miss. And we saw Marco step up his pace of play in the last two frames with those excellent breaks.
7.
Are we going to see Neil do it?
8.
Be a good time to score, I know that.
It's amazing, John, when he potted that red and went into the bunch, he thought he was just going to have to play a safety shot, and then all of a sudden that pink appeared. Now that red to the left of the black's causing a slight problem here.
13.
This normally would be straightforward to pop this red and get nicely on the black. That's why he had to come back for the blue, but I'll tell you what, he struck that beautifully. Hardly touched that, and look at the action he got on it.
Yeah, that was the middle of the white, all right. Just got a little bit too much angle here. Perfect world, he wouldn't have to go into the pack. Be playing on loose reds. Interesting to see what he does here. That's lovely.
19.
Yeah, nice cannon, and also didn't block the pocket where the black's concerned.
20.
See, the angle's just finished a little awkward for him here, John.
Yeah, it wasn't the best shot. The last one, was it? Shouldn't really been leaving himself so awkward. Just shows you there's no such thing as a simple shot on the snooker table. That was a very easy pot he had, but he didn't really want to leave that angle.
Well, the white's going to be close. The white is going to be close. Can you believe it? He played for the plant there. There's two reds as a plant.
20. Marco
And
Fu, 7.
somehow he just overscrewed that. I don't know whether it flew off that side cushion.
Double whammy, isn't it? Well, if he has played for the plant, Marco hasn't seen it because he's taken a long red on. But then again, if you're knocking him in like that, he's just having a look now, Marco. I was going to say, if you're going to play a cannon into the pack, make sure you have a look. It might be absolutely on that, but it can definitely be made.
Yeah, Neil Robertson definitely played for the plant. I mean, he's got other choices here as Marco.
It is funny that though. They never even looked, did he? You know, he all credit to him. He smacked the long red in, but the plant was easier.
Six. Seven.
Well, he knows that plant is going to be there in a few shots' time. And he'll probably play for the plant because he's back looking at it again. If he pots the red and the black, the pink is awkward to split the reds up, whereas if he plays the plant, that's going to develop. Good few of the reds. Yep.
15.
Screw back, leave the plant.
$22. 23.
Just enough, I think. Yeah, took him a few shots to get there. No, I think he's got a little angle on the blue. Although it might not be much. There we go, having a look, and virtually nothing, so got to be careful with his position. And obviously the red that's closest to the pink spot
28.
will pot.
$29.
Oh, it's gone too close to the black. Difficult to pick this angle out, fully stretched. Oh, very well played.
36.
That was such a tough cutback. With being, was that
Marco
a kick?
Fu,
Or did
36.
he just get down and play it carelessly?
Settle
I'll
down,
have to see
please.
that
Thank
again.
you.
I think he just played it too quickly, did he? Let's have a look. Didn't seem to kick. He holds his head in his hands.
I know exactly what that is there, Dennis. That's when you've played a shot that was really awkward and tricky and put all your concentration into it and you're delighted you've potted it, your concentration goes for the next one, because that's all he's done there. It was a very tricky black he played, and what an opportunity he's left for Neil Robertson. Okay, he's coming to the table 20 odd points behind, but wow, look at the way these balls are. Just the one near the top cushion that's the problem. The rest of them shouldn't be.
7.
What a turning point that could prove to be. Because Marco had breaks of 78 and 115 to draw Revel at 10 each, and he had a golden chance to make it 3 in a row.
$15. $16.
So stun up off the black, 2 reds on the right hand side, and this frame really is going to be about the red that's on the top cushion. And it's just enough off the cushion to make it a little bit tricky.
$24.
Yeah, a couple of shots time. If he could get the
30.
white where that white is that I've put up, it would be absolutely perfect. It's all about the angle he gets now.
31.
Should be okay. Looks a little straight, but should be able to force. Yeah, he can get to where I said, and then just make it that he can just roll that red in, John.
Yeah, he's finished actually quite a nice angle here. Little stun run through. I'm just going to make sure. One thing, just don't leave it straight. Well, I don't believe he's played that shot. I really don't believe he's played it. He's put all his eggs in one basket. You've got to hit that plumb to be on there. Why didn't he just stun it in and leave himself a shot on it?
And it's not that these pockets are really tight. I mean, we've seen them going in off the angles, but what a slip up that was. Okay, he can play a good safety, a possible snooker, but you know, it's amazing. If you let that chance go, things can change.
Robertson, 38.
Oh, that's a useful flick on the yellow there. That has made it very difficult. If he hits the yellow full ball, there's no snooker. Now there's all sorts of balls in the way. The black's in the way of going down the right side of the table. He's having to swerve through a gap to hit the cushion. Oh, no, he managed the gap, but where is it going to finish? It's pretty good.
I still can't believe the last shot he played. I really can't. You've got to guarantee yourself a shot at that last red. That's an excellent safety. Excellent. Just gotta hope he can clip this to a cushion, Marco.
Yeah, just like that.
Brilliant shot. Last couple of shots in this tactical exchange have been superb. Neil's played 2 very good safeties. Marco's had the reply. And this one's not easy, Dennis, is it? Yellow's in the way.
That's why he's queuing at the red to see what would happen if he hit it full ball. If he sends the red into the yellow, he could stick it on. He wants to send the red around the angles and head up towards the black. But I think the yellow's preventing that. And if he tries to avoid the yellow, he could send this red towards the left corner pocket. Well, he thought he was going to miss the yellow. He could have put himself in trouble here. That's a bit careless from Marco. That red shouldn't have been going anywhere near the middle pocket.
Funny thing is, where it's finished is a little awkward. Can't play off the right hand side of the red because of the blue. Doesn't really want to play a thin one because the red will hit the blue. So, got to sort out another shot. And see what he comes up with.
Got the snooker again, and as John said, he'll be hoping to push the red towards the side cushion. Can he do it again? He's hit it too thin this time, and if the white bounces, there's a chance for Neil Robertson, who's already 15 in front. So it's all about that yellow.
Well, this isn't a certainty under the circumstances.
Where's the red going to finish? Oh, he's been fortunate.
Wow.
I think he hit that one a bit harder than he intended there, John.
Yeah, a little bit aside. It was one of those you could quite easily cue across. Now it's Marco's turn to be in the driving seat. Excellent shot. And this one's a bit more trouble. Might be difficult to get the swerve on the cue ball here with it being so close to the cushion. Well, thinks he can do it.
Foul. Gonna miss.
And maybe a free ball as well.
Free
so
ball.
He's got the full house here.
Marco full 5.
Marco's just looking to see what the pink looks like.
Well, he potted one of these earlier this evening from tight on the side cushion. So he's just queuing up to it again.
It certainly is. Now he really needs to get some action on this to get to that red. He needs to get over past the green, anywhere over past the green. And that's terrific, as long as he's not straight. Terrific shot.
8. Yes, if you're being picky, it's a slightly more angle than you would like. Still expect him to get this, but it is 10-all at the Crucible. Well played.
9.
He's going to need the blue, and I'm just wondering if he's going to pot this brown and possibly cannon the blue out and stay on the yellow. I think he might have tried that, John.
I'm not so sure, Dennis. I think he may have just said he'd wait for
13.
another opportunity, but he could have played a little stun shot into it, couldn't he? But anyway, it's not tight on the cushion.
Yeah, good recovery there because he left himself further away from the yellow than he would have liked, and he's got the angle now to pot the green, get on the brown, and then get to that awkward blue. Big turning point, this.
18.
Yes, Neil Conn had many complaints. He had a good look at that mid-range red that he didn't knock in. So he had first chance at it.
22.
Well, to go back to that last shot, you know, when he tried to cannon the red out, and the last red, instead of just stunning in behind it, it's amazing how it can turn things around. Just needs the blue. No, no, he's missed it.
Marco Fu,
He's got
22.
a good cue ball.
Yeah. Bad news, good news. Bad news he's missed it. Good news, I think it's safe.
Well, this isn't pretty for Marco because there's no easy safety shot on. He's got to watch the double kiss. If he tries to get any distance between them, he's just trying to nestle onto it. The only problem with that shot, it gives the advantage to Neil Robertson. He could be in behind the black here.
How's the weight of the cue ball, Neil? Any good? Ooh, not quite. But still, this is not a pretty shot. Marco's got the same shot he had before, but that blue being a little bit off the cushion means that he'll have to be very careful coming off the top cushion and playing to drop on it. Just in case he sneaked in behind and promoted it into a potable position. So this is not very nice.
Oh, he's made a bit of a mess of that one. That's the last thing he wanted to see.
Thank you. Quietly,
it wasn't
please.
easy, but maybe the shot he played beforehand might have been the one to play. But anyway, still a bit to do to clear up here. Got to get a good cue ball.
5.
Yeah, and how many times do you score 70 points and lose a frame? But that's what will happen if Neil pots the pink and black.
He's just come a little bit awkward here. In this situation, you'd like to be playing a firm stun across for the black, but there's not the angle in it.
Oh, look where he's left this.
11.
Oh, we're going to have a tense black ball finish now. That's just pure tension there. He's having the white clean, but I don't know whether he got a kick or not, John.
Yeah, it's one of those shots that you've got to play like a stun run through on it, and it definitely jumped the pink. And that's taken the pace out of the cue ball. He's a bit unlucky there. Now, what do you do with this?
Well, if you try to cut it back in the corner, the white could go in the middle pocket.
And I think if he plays it in the middle, he's got to be on the far jaw. I think this has been dropping in on this table. A couple of shots I've seen. Certainly saw a pink early in the match that just turned in a little touch.
He's got a straightforward safety shot. Leave the white tight in this cushion, black up the other end. He's played it to the middle. It's not there.
Neil Robertson, 11.
He played that in a way that was more safety in mind, wasn't he? He kept the cue ball there and aired on the side of near jaw. 70, 69, 10 frames all. What a big black this is.
He's played it well. he didn't play that too well. Oh dear.
Quietly, please. Thank you.
It still needs a bit of potting, but it should have been a lot safer than this. No, that's it. It needed a bit of potting. And, well, what a tense 21st frame this has been.
Shh.
Oh, you don't normally see that from Neil Robertson. He really is quite a mood. I've never seen that from him. That's what it means to the Australian. He's back in the lead at 11-10.
Thank you. Frame 22. Marco Fu to break.
Well, he was out for quite a while, Neil Robertson. I think he had to do just to settle down. I've never seen him react quite like that in Stephen Hendry's head. It's only the second round, but, you know, amazing. Oh, he's unlucky unless he's on the pink. Is he on the pink again? Might be.
Yes, I agree with what Stephen was saying. This is just a a mental kick to himself. That was just a release to say, what are you doing? Why are you not playing as well as you can do? Nope.
Neil Robertson won.
Not the first time he's done that in this match.
And also, as we show you the miss again, this game, when you start trying too hard, it becomes so difficult. And I suppose Neil, I mean, he won it in 2010, but I mean, his record since that, he lost in the first round the following year, then a quarterfinals, then the first round, got to the semi in 2014, but quarters 2015, first round last year.
Good shot. That was better than it looked. Having to cue over the ball and get some top spin.
Well, it's hard to predict what's going to happen. I mean, I'm with Stephen Hendry. I think it could go to the deciding frame. Marco's one of the coolest customers, terrific temperament. You don't see him hold his hand, well, his head in his hands very often, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a shot he missed in the frame we showed before, and he's just forgot to concentrate. Yeah, this is the place for it. You want to be in a mental fog, come to the Crucible late at night. What a venue.
14.
Sometimes just trying to think straight is hard enough, never mind playing.
15.
Well, the angle's good. Not too many reds to play on. Surely he's going to go into the reds here. Has got one at the back if he wants. Position's gone now. Had to go into the pack there, surely.
20.
Yeah, such a big target. Has to be playing on the one red there. Should have split the bunch up.
Marco Fu, 20.
Well, that's what you call an attacking safety shot, but he hasn't got the cue ball where he wanted. He's opened the reds up.
No, but he's been very fortunate, Dennis. The red on the right-hand side has been obscured by the blue. Marco walked up to the table there thinking he had an easy red, but he hasn't. And this isn't great. Oh, now is he angled?
Might possibly be. Looking at his body language, I think he is. That's incredible. He can't get to the red that's over the left corner pocket because the corner of the pocket is in the way. Very rarely do you see that.
Well, you know, Robertson was fortunate to leave him snookered, but that's a massive piece of fortune Marco's just had. For all the world, off a miss hit, that looked like it was going in the pocket, but to finish where it has done, result.
He might have to play a little swerve shot here. I know the red's not near the pocket, but if he left the white up in the jaws, might get it safe, but he's got to be very precise with the one that he's playing. And he's got to find the gap. He's found the gap, but there's reds over both corner pockets. Well, it's an easy starter, but the black's gone safe. The pink's up the other end of the table. Can only play for the blue.
He nearly played a brilliant shot there. That was the only thing he had. But yeah, how's he going to score?
One.
No, I played round onto the blue, but the red has made it very difficult now. That's a great recovery. Oh, the flick on the pink might not be all that bad. I think there's one there. There's 4 reds near the pink spot. The one just to the left of the 3, I think, pots. That's the one. There's one near the black spot, also pots.
Once again, though, that red you've mentioned, Dennis, no position, is there? I don't think he can get past the other red without a cannon. Don't know. Very tight.
The one on the black spot's the easier one for position, but the more difficult pot.
7.
Good shot. Very good shot. Okay, he's not the right side of the blue, but that's not important with the red on the left-hand side. It was more about making sure you knock that ball in.
Well, he did well to find the path
12.
through the balk colours there. You've got to be careful he doesn't screw into the middle here, John.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And he's fouled.
12.
He's touched the
Neil
pink.
Robertson 6.
Oh my goodness. What's
Finally,
going on
please.
next?
Well, that was very careless from Marco there. I said he could screw back into the middle pocket. That was Marco, but same shot. Let's have a look at this. What did he do? He just... Oh, that's a bit careless, that.
Yep, he definitely did touch it. Referee Jan Verhaas, right on the ball there. Tough for the referees. We forget about those at times, Dennis. You know, in a 20-second frame here, been a long day for him. One of our best referees ever, and he spotted that straight away.
Neil Robertson 1.
No kick, just didn't deliver the
Thank
cue
you.
in a straight line. Okay, it was a little bit awkward with the cue ball, but
1.
and Marco will pick up on a few things that's happening here, and he knows that Neil is very uptight.
There's no need to play on the black, of course. Wouldn't want to take that risk of having to play that difficult shot, so we can keep going up for blues.
7.
That'll suffice. Already got a 31-point lead, so as we say, if he minds his work, just keeps going up from red and blue all the time, that'll see him home in this frame. Leave that black where it is.
12.
As long as he keeps getting the correct side, and that's judged to perfection again.
Yeah, that was excellent, wasn't it? The last one, lovely touch. Just imperative of you said, Dennis, just keep making sure you get above the blue so it's easy.
19.
Perfect yet again. He does look the more likely scorer, that's for sure.
And he only needs one more red and a blue. Three pots of red and a blue. Neil Robertson will need the snooker.
$25.
This has been excellent. Just all about getting enough points to get over the line to level the match. And very good from Marco too. I bet you can't believe he was coming back to the table. I never thought Neil Robertson would be missing a straight blue. Okay, he was near the cushion, but you wouldn't expect him to miss that.
He had a good look at 31. That red there, didn't he? Because there was a similar shot the other side of the table that he fouled. The pink.
So once again, Neil Robertson was one ahead, and he's been pegged back.
Marco Fu,
doesn't matter about that.
And the frame.
Neil Robertson stays in his seat. Marco leaves the arena. Just can't pick anything between these two players. We're back all square again, 11 each.
Frame 23, Neil Robertson to break.
Yeah, started off the best of 25. It's down to the best of 3. Can he slot this one in? He certainly can. Didn't play it as a shot to nothing. He made sure he come up short as we show you this terrific long pot. And the pace he played it at, he knew he was going to be on one of the bought colours. And
That was a long pot success rate there. Neil just slightly ahead. Marco just on the 90%. And then a couple of shots time, John. But he's overran that one slightly. I was going to say red, blue, and get on the red just above the black in such a way you cannon the other one away. But he's left this one a little bit tricky for himself. Can still do that now.
Good pot, that. Not easy to control. And obviously he's glued to the side cushion here, but the red that's just above the black to the right hand side is the one he'd love to be on.
As long as he's, well, even if he's straight on that, it doesn't matter. He can leave the black into the other corner pocket and clear it that way. Well, let's see what angle he has. No, he can play the cannon.
10.
Boy, is he a cool customer.
Yeah, now ideally, like to leave yourself half ball on the black here. Play a screw into the
17.
back of the pack, and you've got the red that's just below as your insurance.
18.
So a lovely little cannon here, back of the little triangle you can see, and screw out and try and bring some reds into play. That's the one.
That's the shot that John had picked out.
25.
He's got one to the middle also. What a chance.
26.
Yes, it's about nothing else other than holding yourself together in this situation. You can practice all the hours you like in the club, but nothing prepares you for this. Can you think straight?
Yeah, that's just about perfect. I mean, Marco had a great run last year.
31.
Lost 17-15 in the semi-final to Mark Selby, who went on to win it.
$32.
He's had 2 semi-finals, so I bet he feels it's time he had his name on the trophy. Who's to say he couldn't do it this year?
He holds his hand up there because he didn't play it like that, but
39.
he won't mind. Let's have a look at it, this match. One of those ones, Dennis, where somebody's
40.
never been in front, and the only time they are is when it gets right near the business end. He's always been playing catch up. He was 4-1 down in this match. But Stephen said it, and I mentioned it before in commentary. Of the two players,
47.
he looks like the only one who's scoring.
$48.
Well, you can hear a pin drop at the Crucible at the moment.
53.
The crowd's totally enthralled in this match.
$54.
No need for any cannons.
Yep, right below the pink pot, so as you say, he can play this now and screw back out for the pink again. Wonderful touch.
61.
Really has. His break building is full of finesse.
62.
And it's only been going just over 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So he's not hanging around here.
talking with Stephen the other day in the studio, and both of us agreed that he's
68.
become one of our favourite players to watch because he's just artful the way he goes about his break building.
Thank you. 69.
And like a fine bottle of wine, he seems to have got better with age, Dennis, doesn't he? You know, he's been around a long time, but it's only the last few seasons it's really come to the fore. He's always been a good player, but...
Well, it's a very disappointing
Marco
end.
Fu, 69.
But he's got a 69-point lead with only 59 on the table. 3 snookers needed.
Should have knocked that one in, because what you don't want to be doing is having a drawn-out end to this when you've got momentum. You're the one scoring. You're the one playing fluently. You wanted this frame out the way.
One. Seven. Eight.
Yeah, he's got to take blacks to make sure he only needs 3 snookers. Wobbled that one a bit.
15. Yeah, frame conceded.
That's enough. 3
Robertson,
snookers
15.
would be too much, and he just sends the white up the table, and he concedes the frame. And Marco Fu looks so fluent in that frame, and he takes it, and he's only 1 frame away from a place in the quarter-final. Well, look at the concentration on Marco Fu's face there. Yeah, you said in the last couple of seasons how great a player he's become, and of course he's working with Terry Griffith's son Wayne, who lives out in Hong Kong. Marco lives there and travels back and forwards, and I think Wayne's done a great job with Marco.
Yeah, certainly has, and they work a lot on the mental stuff and obviously the cue action and technique, but he's just developed into a very fine match player. And what a scoring machine he is. There won't be too many players in the circuit. Dennis made over 400 odd centuries, 450 now in tournament play. That's getting up in the upper echelons of the top boys, that's for sure.
Thank you. It's frame 24. Marco Fu to break. Quiet, please.
So it's Marco Fu breaks off. 12-11 ahead, 1 needed for a quarter-final spot against Mark Selby. Neil Robertson, you've got to find something, my man. Hasn't been scoring anything like he can do this evening, and he's got to win the last 2 frames. What can he find? Any mistake now could be extremely costly.
Well, he's opened the reds up again, and I'm just wondering, I can see down the line, I don't know if he can get to the potting angle of that one for the left corner, but there's no easy path round the back of the black because it's off its spot, and that's the one I was thinking about. But
well, if he hasn't got a shot or he can't find one, he may have to take that on. Just checking up, it must be really tight. See, in an ideal world, he'd come and drop on the red that's on the top cushion on the right hand side, but the yellow is blocking that. Could play the red that's on the black spot, but you've got to get that absolutely right with a little bit of side to get the gap between all the reds. It is a shot, but it looks like he's taken on this pot to the corner.
He'll settle for that. He caught the jaw of the middle pocket, and I think he's covered everything here.
Settle for that. He'll be absolutely delighted, because where that's finished, it's put Neil in a lot of trouble. First glance, I can't see what shot he's got. Well, it's a deep screw. Wow. He's left the red towards the top corner there, but he could have left one a lot easier.
I'll tell you what, that eased the pressure, because the crowd reacted and both players had a smile there at that shot. This is a big shot coming up here. No, unless he can get to the pink.
One.
I don't think he might be able to get through to the brown, you know, if he can't pot the pink. The brown, I think he can pass the pink.
Wow, that's big. The fact that he can see that. Yeah, don't blame him. Composing himself, standing back.
Wow. That white shouldn't have been anywhere near the middle pocket.
5.
He just hit that a little
Quietly,
on the thick
please,
side.
thank you.
Yep. Did well to pull up, didn't he? Well, can he see that red past the blue? Looks like it.
Six.
It's too close to the brown, I think, to clip it in. He could just nestle on the brown and get the snooker here. It's a delicate little one, but he could snooker Neil on all the balls here if he just nestles onto it. He's looking at the potting angle, but he's very, very close. Yeah, just nestle onto it. Yeah, well played. I mean, that was delicate. At snooker, you're allowed a fresh air shot. Not that he had one, but he had a few little cues at that before he eventually delivered the cue.
Neil's looking there with the angle. He's got twice across. Left hand side cushion as we look in between yellow and blue. Past the middle pocket and onto the side of the pack on the right hand side. That's what he's looking at. Just doesn't want to catch the bottom of that, because if he hits that bottom red on the right hand side, he could leave a very good chance. Got to get the reds that are higher up near the pink.
He's played this well. Oh, it's not going to reach.
Foul. And a miss. Marco Fu.
Can he find the same line again, though?
Nearly perfect. It's horrible when you play that shot and you've got to go and do it again. He couldn't hit that on the angle any better, just needed a tiny bit more pace.
Okay.
But if he plays the same one again with just a little bit more pace and rests on that red, he'll be more than happy with that.
He's got the same line again. Brilliant.
Similar to a couple of the frames we've had this evening, not much really Marco can do with this position here. I just have to tap a red, and he thinks he can clip it off and leave it near the top cushion, and that red on the left hand side won't be potable, so not quite the same.
Thank you.
But that red in the balk area, or towards it, is going to make this frame trickier.
He's just having a look to see where he could leave the cue ball and not leave Marco a shot at the red that's to the left of the green. But if he plays that, he needs a very thin snick off this red. This could go wrong. He's got to be very precise with this one.
Yeah, I don't like that shot. The bump on the middle pocket looks massive. Yeah, he's got a shot off the red that's near the black here. Just bring the cue ball back to the top cushion. It's the safer option. Good cue ball as well, nice and tight, so your opponent can't get the butt of the cue in the air and hit down and bring it back to the same place.
If Marco goes up that left side of the table, he'll have to finish somewhere near the balk line, because if he doesn't, Neil will be able to play that red that's next to the green. Got to get this just right. He wants it to pull up around the balk line. Doesn't go past the green, does it, the red?
Well, even if it does, good luck with that shot. Oh, it does go.
You'd need to be in behind it, wouldn't you, John?
Yeah, I wouldn't fancy that shot across the table. Certainly not what you'd be leaving if you missed. Fascinating exchange at the minute, this. Real cat and mouse. Who's going to make the first mistake? Neil taps the table there, realises what a good shot Marco's played. think he might be playing the screw shot here. Yep. Pretty clever. Good reply that. Not the only shot he had.
That gets the frame back to normal. Because neither player would have wanted to start sending the reds up into the other end of the table and have an awkward frame.
Yeah, can't see how we can get back into the balk area here, so we have to just push a red up and down. One on the right hand side, the top one of the two. Just push that up and down and leave the cue ball near the top cushion. Not many alternatives.
Bit of a chance here for Marco to put a real telling safety shot in here. Get up behind the green there.
He's certainly in charge in this little exchange, Marco. He's keeps giving Neil a lot more to do than he's got. So far, the Australian's been coming up with the answers. Just doing enough with containing safeties just to get himself out of trouble. And there's no doubt about it. Marco's in the driving seat.
Just over the 7 hours and a little bit longer to go. No attempt at the pot. That's another pretty good shot from the Australian there. They're just so evenly matched, and they have been down the years. It's mentioned before, Neil Robertson's won 6, Marco Fu has won 5, but it's the first time they've played in the Crucible.
You've got a chance here. Off the red, a little bit of run inside, up into the balk area, behind the green. Perfect.
Some of the tactical play has been excellent here. It's been going on for just over 10 minutes. But it's such a crucial stage in the match.
Yeah, but it's been that good from the pair of them that they haven't had a pot to go at. That's how good it's been. Once again, it's Neil who's got the more difficult shot. Keeps probing away, Marco. Waiting for a mistake. Neil's just had a little look at the pot in the middle, but I don't think he, even if he with a shot to nothing, but I don't even think he can avoid the blue and the red if he played that. This is what he's got. Doesn't look great. Once again, another excellent shot to get himself out of trouble.
He's going to be back in exactly the same spot again. Marco can play thin off a red and leave it tight on the cushion with the green
blocking the way through. Can't get to the potting angle of that, but the one just above the black, thin off that, off the side cushion, tight on the baulk cushion.
I have a headache after this frame, Neil Robertson. He's just, every time he's come to the table, he's got a problem to solve. Can't make a telling safety shot himself because he's just in that much trouble.
White have dropped in. Look where the red had gone to.
Oh, he must have skipped a beat there, Dennis. That looked like it was going in. Now that's made Marco's safety a little bit more difficult. Just the cue in there as well. He's got a couple of shots he can play, but cueing out of the jaws, I'm going to make sure you're accurate.
Yeah, when you're that close to the pocket, it's very difficult to make a bridge. You could see from the pocket camera where he's striking it to get the white back. And it's a good one. He's tight to the cushion.
Well, you have to say, under the circumstances, the quality of the match play in this frame is absolutely outstanding. Neil has got a shot, I think. The red that's near the blue. If he can push that up past the brown, cue ball across and back over behind the green, I think he can avoid the blue. It's certainly one of the shots that's on. He's looking at something else with his cuers there. Maybe he's sussed another one out. But the red next to the blue, if he can play that and not get the cannon, I think that's the shot to play. Maybe, just maybe, the red that's further up might be a problem with it.
The shot that John was talking about, if he doubles that red up the table, that's the path the white would take, but the red would go dangerously close to the yellow, so it was an option and not a bad one.
Yeah, he's just looking at it now.
He's hit it a little bit too hard now. Well, Marco, well, he can get to the red that he doubled back up. He just didn't catch it correctly. So a bit of a chance. And I think the white's heading towards the black and red here. Played it with stun. because it was a natural to cannon into the red and black, which he didn't want to do. And if it pulls up here, this is a chance for Marco Fu.
You know what, Dennis, that was a much, much better shot than it looked. He had to get into that cue ball, but not too much. And he played that really well. So, after that safety exchange that he managed to win, first chance goes to Marco Fu.
And what he was looking at in a couple of shots' time was to get on a red into the right corner and leave himself on the pink, because the black's out of commission, and I think the pink spot might be occupied. So in a few shots' time, he might be able to get the pink onto the black spot. But there's plenty of other options before he has to think about that.
Yes, that red that's up to the right hand side of the pink. That's the most important ball in this break. He can get on that in a couple of shots time onto the pink. Wow, what a chance.
12.
Can do it now.
Ideally, he'd like to be straight on that red. He's just back looking at the pink again, because if he leaves the white where the red is, it'll be perfect. Oh, he's got a little bit too much side on that. He's not on it nicely. Just
16.
a little bit of adrenaline there. He just overcooked that slightly.
Yeah, he was just worried about not cannoning the yellow, wasn't he? So he got into it a little bit too much. Yep. Sides brought it down the table, and this is a much more difficult shot.
Good recovery pot.
17.
Excellent. Well, that was a great cutback with enough pace to come in and out of balk. And look at that. That's why he was trying to get straight on that red. He would have been right behind the pink, but he's still at the table.
Yes, played in an area here. Got one in the middle, or one at the back of the bunch.
20.
Now, he's looked at it in the middle pocket as well. Can he pot this in the middle and just hold the cue ball for the pink? If he can, this is just as good as the other way.
21.
Excellent.
Oh, and I'm not sure if the pink spot is occupied. If it is, that's a big plus for Marco Fu.
Yeah, it's definitely covered by a red, isn't it? You can just see it peeking out.
.37 and counting.
27.
Oh, that jumped a little bit, but
28.
it didn't affect it, but the red definitely jumped there. Let's have another look at this.
I said earlier this evening, this was a game that was ready to be grasped by one of the players who stepped
34.
up to the plate. And it's definitely been Marco Fu this evening. His scoring has been far superior to Neil's.
35.
And once again, this has been an excellently constructed break in the heat of battle.
Oh, what a beautiful shot.
absolute cracker.
41.
It's worth another look. He couldn't have hit that any better. And while Hazel and Stephen were talking
42.
in the studio, Mark Selby was practicing, and the defending champion is waiting on the winner of this match. And it looks like the man from Hong Kong is going to be playing the defending champion, just a few pots away from what has to be, well, he's had some terrific victories, but this will be up there with the best, John.
Yeah, following his first round from 7-1 behind. Let's not forget that. Luca Brissell had him 7-1 down in this year's World Championship. And here he is, looking for all the world like he's going to be in the quarter-final.
47.
Amazing turnaround.
He had a little glance at the scoreboard there, making sure that he plays the correct shot and gives himself a little bit of time. He's got a kick. He's got a kick. Can you believe it?
Marco Fu, 47.
Can you believe it? You know, I was just thinking when he held his head in his hands when he missed the easy ball, but that was just unlucky with the contact. Have a look at that.
Oh, that's outrageous. It's outrageous. It really is. How well has he played in this frame? And for that to happen.
Yeah, of course.
Well, look where the whites finished. He would have been on the pink into the middle pocket. Do you know, he thought, and he was going to screw that back at one stage, and then he thought, I'll just make sure I'll roll it in, and that happens. Incredible. Oh, Neil tried to develop the red and black. He's very close. I think he can still pot the black, John.
Yep, it was the right shot to play. It was giving you a chance to win the frame. You just needed to clip it on the outside a bit thinner. Just needed a thin contact, not a thick one. But yes, this still pots, but it can be missed. What a frame of snooker this is.
The only awkward ball is the yellow, and it's not safe where it's sitting.
What I will say, Dennis, is he's not had his shooting boots on tonight. Can he find it from somewhere? This will be one of the best clearances he's ever made, because he's been nowhere near his best. Can he find the clearance when he isn't? Huge
16.
pressure.
$70.
Well, how's Marco Fu feeling sitting in his seat? He was
23.
a couple of pots away from a place in the quarterfinal, and to see that happen was incredible.
And he played the perfect frame, Dennis, hadn't he? His match play had been superb. He had his opponents in all sorts of trouble. He was making a break, going over the line, and then that happened.
24.
Boy, this is a tough game.
It's all about getting a good angle so that he can drop in behind the yellow, and I mean the
29.
yellow, as I say, it's far from safe. You
can drop in behind the yellow to leave it into the corner or into the middle pocket, anywhere near the 2 whites, and he'd be okay.
Yeah, decided to stay on the blue, didn't he? Could have possibly have gone up for the brown to get closer to the yellow, but decided to play it this way.
Oh, he's too close to the yellow. He's too close to the yellow. He wanted to be
35.
a bit nearer to the cushion, and there's more drama here. Just got a little bit too much stun on that.
Yeah, the only way he couldn't have a pot at that yellow was if he got into the cue ball too much. Unfortunately for him, that's what he's done. So Marco, you've had a reprieve. Mind you, there's a good argument you deserve one.
And Marco needs the yellow and green. Neil Robertson needs all the remaining colours to take us to a decider.
Is he thinking of having a go with this? He is, you know. Middle pocket. No, he isn't.
Neil Robertson.
Far better shot.
Oh, I thought he'd got the snooker, but he didn't. Now, if he can hit the yellow from behind and he catches this correctly, he can get the snooker in behind the black and send the yellow up the table. Oh, key shot coming up.
Yeah, you're not kidding. This is huge.
No, didn't get enough side on it, and if it hits the blue, it's a chance. Marco, as I say, needs a yellow and green. Now there's an awful lot of pressure on this yellow.
Well, the good news is it's a natural angle to the green. Although the way he's looking at it, maybe he's got to punch this in to get there. But whatever you do, Marco, knock the yellow in.
Oh, I mean, how hard has he hit that? Where's the yellow going? Where is the yellow going? Is the blue snookering him? But he hit that so hard, that was just pure pressure that caused him to hit the yellow. And look at this, he's covered it.
Thank you, quietly please.
If he swerves around the blue and pots the yellow, he's going to be on the green, John.
Yep. I mean, he's got lucky leaving it where it is. But, as you say, Dennis, if he plays this little swerve, all he's got to do is make sure he makes any sort of contact on the right-hand side of the yellow, and he's got to be on the green. Well, I'm saying that because he had to put so much swerve on, he couldn't get on the green.
Well, he's looking at the scoreboard, but there is a chance, you know, to get in behind the black here. He's 20 behind. You've got to make sure you keep the green safe. I mean, he could risk going behind the black, but it'd be quite easy to not get the green safe. The alternate is to just try and get the snooker behind the brown and make sure he gets a good green. He's gone for the black. How's your judgment? How is your judgment?
Neil Robertson, 2.
It's pretty good. What a shot he's played there.
And just enough room to slip round the back of the green here. Just needs to miss the middle pocket. And
Foul. And a miss. Neil Robertson, foul.
dear, it's all happening here.
Hawkeye, please.
in this frame. It's 2 cushions he's playing, but as I said, there was enough room to get round the back of the green.
To me?
Let's have a look where they were before. That's where they were. And let's have a look now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely spot on. Now, he doesn't want to go around the back of it again. And he doesn't. Where's the green going? It's gone over the middle pocket.
Wow, what a frame of
Thank
snooker
you.
this is. He's 15 behind. And what pressure there is out there at the Crucible tonight. Just come a little bit awkward. It's a bit thinner than it looks. Very easy to decelerate on this shot and not get the work on the cue ball.
Oh, that's a useful nudge on the black, because without the cannon, the white was going to be close to the cushion. The only thing is, it's going to make the black a little bit more difficult. Neil already looking at that.
Seven.
Black would be okay for a right-hander.
Yeah, got to make sure he doesn't leave himself straight on this pink. Needs an angle.
12.
And he's got one. Has he? Oh no, he's straight. The one thing you cannot do is leave this straight. And he has.
Settle down, please. Thank you.
Well, what a black he's going to have to leave himself now. There, he's queuing up at it. Oh.
The only thing I can say, Dennis, is it's made your mind up what shot you're playing, because there's nothing else other than the one he's just lined up for. You know, he could play the pink ordinarily and have to use the rest, so his decision's been made. It's all about this.
18.
Well, he is one of the best potters the game has ever seen. Boy, does he need a pot now to keep himself in this year's World Championship. Oh, but look where he's left it. Oh, this is an awkward one.
18.
He's going to need the extension on his cue, an extended rest.
Thank
So
you.
close, wasn't it? And the pressure and the tension, do you fancy dropping this one in dead weight?
That's all he can do. I mean, give the pocket a chance, and just, if it doesn't go in, he loses the frame. But you've got to think, let's roll it in. I was very unlucky with the kick. This will get me through to the quarter-final. What a shot he's faced with.
I'll tell you what, Dennis, I'll be having the black cleaned as well, never mind the
Thank
cue
you.
ball.
Quietly, please, now. Thank you.
What a frame of snooker we've had here. Absolutely incredible. And he looks as cool as you like, but he got a terrible kick. And Neil Robertson almost come back and levelled, and we were almost into a decider. Nice to see the both players chatting like that. In the end, the very likeable Marco Fu goes through to the quarterfinals, winning 13 frames to 11.